Yeah, great segue, Ron. Really appreciate being here. This is our first Angelbeat, so happy to be here. And also, it's great to see so many of our partners. As you'll see in one of our slides here, we definitely partner with many here, and it's great to hear about some of our joint customers that I'm hearing about, like Morgan Stanley, and I've seen other prospects out there as well. So with that, I'm going to go off video. You don't need to see my face while we do this here, but it is great to be with everyone. So for starters, my name is Dan Cooper. I lead our sales for Fivetran's banking, financial service, and insurance verticals. I've worked personally both in the financial sector and technology sector, most recently focused around software and infrastructure and services. Today, we're going to be discussing a little bit about some obstacles that are holding back a lot of enterprises from really achieving true data maturity and from ultimately modernizing their data stacks. Most of our clients have overcome these challenges by utilizing Fivetran and our partner ecosystem for their data movement needs. And additionally, I'll cover some analytics use cases that will really help to unlock your data. So let's jump in. So first, I know a lot of words like cloud get thrown around. They mean different things to different folks, but just a level set. We're focused squarely on the financial services segment today. And the financial services industry is an extremely large sector, as you know, that can be segmented in a variety of ways. For the sake and clarity and simplicity of our talk today, we're going to classify FinServ enterprises as any organization that's working in banking, insurance, investment services, and payment processes. So regardless of the exact segment within FinServ, or really any industry vertical for that matter, since we serve all, the talk today is really focused around FinServ, but we're doing business in virtually every vertical there is in business. Every business is truly in the business of data. So your company is relying on data, usually the data that you generate yourself or pull in from third parties, ultimately to influence the decisions that power your business. And these can be from analytic use cases across the company to operational efficiencies. Data truly is at the heart of every company. And with the data, you can ultimately better understand and optimize your supply chain, your buyer journeys, and your trend forecasting. It's essentially the lifeblood of your business. And when you optimize it, can really power the enterprise to really great heights that our thousands of customers are experiencing and are achieving. But we know there's plenty of challenges facing teams today that are negatively impacting the value of the data. These can be things like changes in the market demand that distributed remote teams rely on data to be available at all hours and around the clock, around the globe to drive every business decision their teams make. You add to that the obvious macroeconomic pressures that we're all facing. To tighten budgets and reduce headcounts while still being asked to do more and more. And all the while, more and more data is being generated across the business with more regulations to pay attention to and higher expectations of your consumers and obviously the C-suite. So data is essentially changing how consumers and providers are operating. It's leading to rapid growth of data ecosystems, which now include cloud-based SaaS providers. And for risk-averse financial organizations that have operated primarily on-prem for many years, this expanding ecosystem brings new challenges such as security and privacy and governance right to the forefront. It all comes at a time when financial service providers have just started gaining some traction with data integration and analysis efforts. So, but in times of this economic hardship that some are experiencing, the investment in data really becomes even more essential. And that's because data is the key to your competitive advantage, whether you realize it or not. Harvard Business Review found that data-driven companies have a better financial performance and were far more likely to survive than those who weren't led by data. So more enterprises are winning through data, as it's undoubtedly the competitive advantage. And in fact, getting as much data as possible in more of your company's hands is the leading indicator of companies that will not only survive these changes, but are actually going to thrive, finding places to innovate and keep growing. And a good example of how data is in fact a competitive advantage can be seen in a recent article of Forbes magazine from 2021. In this article, the CIO of Toyota Financial Services shared how they're looking to tackle challenges they're facing with their legacy data architecture, and it's all about accelerating their existing processes as efficiently as possible to bring on new products to market. This could be in decision-making, collaboration, and engineering. And the key question this CIO asked everyone around him at Toyota Financial Services, very simply, how would we design the organization if we were simply born today, right? All legacy FinServ institutions are dealing with this same challenge in some fashion when confronted with transforming their data architecture. So if you're anything at all like Toyota Financial Services and grappling with how to accelerate your data efforts while maturing your processes to utilize advanced analytics, ML, and AI, you need to consider the capabilities of your underlying data architecture. I know this slide's a little bit of an eye chart, apologies for that, but I wanted to kind of show what we do in kind of the platform that we provide. And essentially, we're working with our customers who are implementing their cloud data platforms, very simply. The platform approach ensures that they get the best in breed tooling for every step of their data journey while avoiding any kind of vendor lock-in, if you will. And the components of the cloud data platform incorporate data sources, ingestion, destinations, transformations, and business objectives or output. This ensures truly greater agility and flexibility to respond to market changes and challenges as they come up. And from a data source perspective, our customers have all the data sources and they know how the outcome they want to get to, including things like AI and ML. The cloud data pipeline is where the data is processed in one or more cloud services that can each handle the different type of workloads they need to run. And data is moved and modeled into, within, and out of our customers' cloud data platform to meet a myriad of use cases. Our customers can ingest and prep data for regular reporting or load that data to a cloud storage location where data scientists can pick it up to train models and monetize the data. And when it comes to loading data, we move data from a wide variety of on-prem or cloud database, events, SaaS applications, files, and even more into your cloud destinations so that it can be processed within your cloud data platform. Our clients love this. They've told us that what truly makes Fivetran different from other data and integration tools they may have tried previously is that with Fivetran, it's no code, fully automated, and fully secure. And this approach really accelerates their time to insights. Lastly, this extensible platform plugs into your observation, your orchestration, and governance tools to control and monitor your data, ensuring it's compliant, safe, and secure when in flight. So, sorry, my screen locked up there. There we go. So with Fivetran specifically, what we're doing, we're automating the whole ELT process for financial service organizations so that you're able to move data from your critical sources like Oracle or your ERP to the destinations of your choice, such as Databricks, Snowflake, AWS, Azure, GCP, which are all our partners. First, our extract capabilities bake in automation features for our hundreds of pre-built, fully managed connectors to support every major data source. All of these connectors use change data capture, which provide low impact, high volume data replication. And as your company expands into new markets, your organization will add new tools and volumes of data will increase. We've seen with our extensive client base. Fivetran is going to help scale up since new connectors can be set up literally in minutes. Right out of the box deployability, and all with no engineering resources, as again, they're code free. And after the initial load, we scan for any incremental updates. We're ensuring that the freshest data is always available, and we're creating and normalizing the data into schemas, including data type mapping and underlying table creation to make your data easier to work with. And for governance and security, which we know is critical in FinServ, we're encrypting the data while it's in flight. Then we delete the data as soon as it lands, and we're doing things like automatic column blocking and hashing. And this level of automation is really what makes Fivetran unique and is saving our customers hundreds of engineering hours every month. Lastly, once loaded into your destination, you can then automatically trigger synchronized transformation. This is going to allow you to get the fastest, most reliable reporting from our all-in-one approach to end-to-end ELT, fully managed directly in the Fivetran cloud data platform. So, this push to modernize the data stack, which is happening all around us, is going to ultimately help achieve the goals of the various business units in the enterprise. These things are pretty standard among all customers we deal with. They're around increased profitability, cost efficiencies, improved customer experience, and ultimately real-time fraud and anomaly detection. These are the areas we're seeing emerging over the last few years. Data obviously is playing a huge part in closing the gap. And at Fivetran, we're really helping to enable the FinServ market to access, move, and model high volumes of data to achieve key metrics like increasing customer acquisition and retention, mitigating risks through the secure data, and then ultimately forecasting trends to increase the ROI. You're likely already working towards this. And, Fivetran's accelerating your journeys by ensuring real-time clean data in a structure that's really easy to deploy and built to last. So we all know the best way to prove out value is via actual customer stories or use cases that have resulted in success. So let me just spend a moment here to talk about, how Square is utilizing Fivetran. So, I'm sure many of you are aware of Square. They've been recently rebranded to Block. They're the leader in payment processing, one of the leaders there. And their centralized data teams needed to spend less time focused around rebuilding infrastructure within multiple legacy systems. We're really looking to, access near real-time data. Once they hooked up with Fivetran, Square is now able to bring all of their data sources together under one platform to create a single source of truth. And as Square scales its product offering, Fivetran scaled with them by ensuring that high volumes of data are moved reliably and supporting data sources as their company adopts new tools. There's been some real benefits since partnering with Fivetran. Their data engineers are now focused on innovation. They're building new features and products instead of constantly dealing with the ETL maintenance and API hookups, et cetera, et cetera. They're also able to remove all the silos they had, and they're integrating data from global marketing partners in near real time. These are just a small sampling of many, many benefits beyond just obviously dollars and cents, as they're saving quite a bit of money with the relationship, but I wanted to point that out as well. So to summarize at a very high level, what is Fivetran? We're the global leader in modern data movement. We're built for the cloud. We're enabling data teams to effortlessly centralize and transform data from hundreds of SaaS and on-prem data sources into high-performance cloud destinations, whether they be a fast-moving startup all the way up to the world's largest global enterprises. We're dealing with many of the Fortune 500 entities out there at this point. Fivetran's accelerating modern analytics and operational efficiency, fueling data-driven business growth. And behind our innovative technology, we have hundreds of engineers ensuring pipelines are always available. We have, almost 4 nines now. This is a little bit dated of reliability. And to demonstrate the strength of our team, just taking one source of the many hundreds that we have kind of pre-built, we're currently managing thousands of pipelines alone just for Salesforce, right? So we're seeing just about every iteration of how someone's managing their Salesforce instance and how they're using that data. You literally couldn't go out and just hire a team that has as much experience in just Salesforce alone as our team does. You don't have to take our word for it. Our expertise has been recognized by the leading cloud vendors you see here, such as Google, Snowflake, and Databricks. They've all awarded us their Data Integration Partner of the Year in 2022. And the last thing I really want to touch on just for a moment before I finish up is, which I think is a real important differentiator, is that, our clients are telling us, and we know it, under the current macroeconomic climate we're all facing, keeping expenses under control is really a paramount concern. They're asked, with their budgets to really, they have less money to spend, but they still need to do more, like I said earlier. So at Fivetran, we recognize this. We actually have cost containment built right into our data movement platform, since what we do is we utilize a logarithmic pricing model that ensures when you're doubling the data essentially through the pipeline, we call it, we're the easy button for data movement. but let's say you doubled the data through the pipeline. We know data needs aren't dropping, they're going up significantly, right? You're not going to just double the cost when you double the data. As a matter of fact, your investment doesn't double until you're putting roughly 5 to 10x the data into our platform. And because it's logarithmic, the more you're using, the cost goes down and down per unit, if you will. And additionally, because our unique way of counting the data, which you're charged for in the first place, it's a model based around monthly active rows, or MAR. So that's very different than total rows, which a lot of other providers utilize. You're only paying for a small portion of the total data you might think you have to pay for, what other competitors are charging for. So we're happy to, in a future session, to get into a deeper discussion around just how powerful and impactful the Fivetran, unique pricing model can be for your enterprise. But I did want to at least touch on this today before I finished up. And that's it for me today. I've covered quite a bit of info in a fairly short period of time. Apologies for just rushing through it. Love the Q&A if there's any questions. But ultimately, the best way to truly learn about Fivetran and all the benefits that we provide our thousands of customers is to try us out. We have a free 14-day trial for any source. You can literally scan this link here, go on and set it up in your own environment with your own data, and we're happy to help you in any way that we can. And that's all I had. So Ron, happy to answer any questions, but feel free to kick it back to you.